Okay, so let's start adding some very easy, simple, non-code based animation to our menus. And the first thing what we're going to do, we're going to have it just change color when you go over a menu item. It's used lots of times on the web, very easy to do. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to say my nav menu link, and then my A. So my this is where we set it up here. We can see the A is the actual link, the where the href is going to go, the href. And then what we want to do is we just want to say hover. So whereas up here we said for our link and our visited, we want to set the background color to aqua. We want to make a display block. We're not going to change any of these attributes. All we're going to change when we hover over this A link is we're going to change the background color. As I say, it's very easy to do, and let's make it a nice aquamarine color. Save that. Now all we do now is, oh look, when we go over it, it changes to a nice aquamarine color. As I say, it's a very easy animation or type of animation to add, something that's quick, something that relies on no code needed, and it looks good as well because you can see when things are actually being hovered over. You can use this in any element. All you do is use the hover element or the hover attribute of any element. So that's how to add color change when you actually hover over a menu item. One thing I love about CSS is the 2D transforms. I believe this was added in CSS 3. I'm not quite sure. If anybody knows it coming earlier, let me know, but I'm sure it was added in CSS 3. What they did was they added some transforms to allow you to do some animations like rotate and various other things. And you don't need code for it, it's just a CSS styling. One of the things that came in is something I love to use on menu items. Now, like where we had to use a WebKit and a Mars and the border radius for the border radius to allow us to round those corners, we have a similar thing with the transform. So I'm going to add the 3 that I know of, one for things like Safari, one for if it's Internet Explorer, and just the standard one. So first one is WebKit transform. I like to add all 3 just so as you know they're there if you just need them. So we say it's called scale, by the way, 2,2, and then we've got MS, and again transform, again scale 2,2, and then let's put the semicolon at the end, and then the transform on its own. See, it actually picks it up if with the autocomplete. There we go. Added all 3. Let's just save that. You could leave the aquamarine in. You could remove it if you want to when you see what this does. I'll leave it in for the moment. But what this actually does is boom, boom, boom. It actually makes the button jump forward. See, the shadow jumps forward and everything. It's actually, I think it's a great little cheap animation to have to allow you to really highlight when they hover over a menu. I just think it's wonderful, and it's simple and it's easy because it's just a CSS command. There are other in the transform, as I say, rotates 1. I can't remember them all off the top of my head, but there are other things that are in there, transition and stuff like that. But I think the scale one's quite good in this case for doing these menu items because it really does make the menu stand out. So that's another very easy, cheap animation for your menus that gives them good impact.